Hello, namaste everyone. I'm Sailaja and welcome to Spiritual Happenings. Today we are going to discuss the topic in continuation to the dimensions and densities. So, in this topic, we are going to understand the densities in detail. Why we are going to understand the densities in detail? Because this is the whole spiritual essence as per raw law of one, that as we graduate from one density to the other, the soul evolves. The soul transcends or essence. Okay, so or through the way or through the journey of the spiritual awakening, everybody goes through these densities, or through the soul evolution, everybody goes through these densities. Now, even before understanding where we stand now, okay, it is your personal introspection, that to understand where you stand now and what are your shortcomings or what are our strengths that we have to work upon to develop more, to grow more, or to evolve more. So, as per raw law of one, um, as soon as the planet is formed, the earth is formed. There are so many thousands of earths in this universe. So, there are so many thousands of universes as well. So, once this planet is formed, what happened? The energy is messed up, it's all chaotic. Okay, it's all scattered. Now, slowly, a small awareness has started, meaning what? It's in rest. There is no motion, it's in rest. So, from there, a small awareness has started, and it is still becoming aware and aware. It's a kind of experience it is going through, and that is the first dimension. There is nothing else. It's slowly gathering the data, to be honest. So, when this data is gathered, what happened? Beings in the first density are the elements of the planet. So, like, the rock, air, water, and fire. The elements of all our conscious beings are basically coming from first density. Okay, now the elements change and move quite randomly, meaning the lessons are learned, meaning they take a form, or they all the five senses are collectively starting to mm, come together and becoming awareness. Slowly they are becoming the awareness. When they are becoming the awareness, not all the senses for those beings that are becoming aware are active. Okay, understood? Maybe I'll re-explain this. First density, it is the uh, consciousness kind of slowly forming. It is not at rest, it is slowly triggering the movement. That is the first density. It's just being there. And from there, the senses are all formed. And these senses also become to the first dimension, sorry, first density, because they just exist. That's it. Okay. Using these senses, an awareness is getting created. That is the first density being getting created. That is in first density. Like, the water and plant kingdom, I can call it mineral kingdom rather. Mineral kingdom is all first density. Okay. Or the rock kingdom, this is all first density. Water kingdom is also first density and partially second density as well. But if you go to the animal kingdom, second density. Okay, if you go to the animal kingdom, meaning the amount of light or the amount of awareness or the consciousness that is available to these beings using these five senses that perceive the reality is called dimension, and the perceive the reality is changing now. They are gathering data from these five senses, and the data is being gathered by these animals, and which is why for some animals, if you see, they can't listen, they can't hear. For some animals, they can't see. Like, if you see the cows, they can't see. They think that people think that they see red color, or the bull see red color and they come and hit you. No, it doesn't work like that. They don't see anything, but the red creates a glare in their eyes, which they get attracted to, not the thing that they are perceiving. Okay. So that is the amount of light that is available to them. So their consciousness, the consciousness of that being, meaning what? If I take one soul, it is in the mineral kingdom, slowly to water kingdom, and slowly to plant kingdom, or the animal kingdom. Hmm? The animal and the plant kingdom are forming in the second density consciousness. Density, I call it as consciousness. Okay. Consciousness or a density is nothing about the light or the knowledge or the information available to them. So, in this consciousness, they are using the five senses that are created in the first density. They are using them, and they are getting to start becoming aware, meaning identifying with themselves slowly. And that is the second density. For example, the plants or the trees, if you go and you hug them, you feel them, but we cannot have a discussion with them, because for them certain senses are active. For snakes, they listen through their spine. They can't speak, they can't see. There are few things like, for I think for owls, they can't see, they listen. Okay. But for eagles, they can see very deeply. So for these animal kingdom, for the animal kingdom, it is only certain senses that are active. So the soul is evolving in its own consciousness to come to third density now. Second density, first density is over, it started becoming aware, and the second density is now over, it started collecting information and came to the third density. This is where the soul is identifying with its body. Okay. The soul has, the consciousness has identified itself with its body. It is becoming more conscious. The amount of light has increased. So if you see, for some of the souls, or for some of the bodies rather, some of them are still evolving. It's still, the body has just taken, the soul has just come, which is a baby soul. We call it as a baby soul. When immediately from the first density, no, sorry, infant soul, from the second density to the third density soul, immediately born, the very first birth is called infant soul. Okay. This infant souls, they still keep on gathering the information through these five senses. They create their memory, they create their own DNA then. Okay. These infant souls, if you see, we can find infant souls around us also. Some of us, we keep on mm, we keep on calling somebody, they don't listen to us, because they're still developing their hearing capability. Okay. And if you touch someone, they don't feel the touch as the way we are feeling. They're not as sensitive. They don't feel the tastes as we are feeling. Okay. Because they are still gathering that information. And I will talk about the different levels of souls that we have, like seven different soul evolutions that we have. I'll talk about it in another video. But for this, we'll confine our discussion to density. So we'll finish at this third density today. So in this third density is where we start gathering a lot of information. We start evolving. As we are evolving, identifying ourselves with this body, and our consciousness is expanding, the light is more, we do a lot of karmas. We experience, our experiences are huge. We come into the cycle of experiences so much that we forget that we have to graduate to the next density. Okay. So the soul here, the consciousness is evolving, but it is not evolving to the next density. So every planet has its saturation period, or graduation period, where for Earth, for this Earth, it is 26,000 years as per law of one, sorry, raw law of one, that we have 26,000, for every 26,000 years, Earth graduates to the next density. So we automatically graduate along with Earth. When we are graduating, now this third density, Earth is graduating slowly to fourth density. We will understand this fourth density in the next video. But here, in this third density, we do a lot of karmas, so-called experiences. We fall into the cycle of experiences, or the um, rebirth cycle, where we go through our lives again and again, again and again, again and again. Do you think that we haven't perceived all that we are perceiving around us until now? No, right? We might have gone through this thousands of times. We don't recollect now, but we have gone through this thousands of times. This is where we get to the ego. We create our own ego, and this ego creates two polarities. One is positive, the other one is negative. Good, bad, papam, punyam. This is all we call about. But as a soul, it will experience both these polarities multiple times to understand which polarity is best fit to them. Okay. So if I might have gone through positive polarity, meaning positive experiences through multiple lives, say 1,000 times, and negative being 900 times, then I may choose 1,000 times more, because I will graduate in the positive line, positive path, because I have chosen this path. So, as there are souls who took the path of negativity, or the path of bad, or the path of papam, they will graduate in their own polarity. It's not that no soul will graduate, but the amount of polarity that you have to hold to graduate differs. So it is more difficult for a negative soul to graduate, because it has to do more negative things and experience more negative karma to graduate to the next density. But for the positive, it is different. It is slightly less, because we graduate faster. That is how the universe is made. Okay, to graduate faster, because every density has its own quality. This density of 3D quality is ego, awareness, self control, and it is like, it works on two things, like service to others and service to self, as Raw calls as. Service to others is the path of positive polarity, service to self is the path of negative polarity. Service to others is what? There are so many, um what do you call, there are so many things in the universe that I can use for the betterment of you, is a positive polarity, which is I am at the service of others using the environmental things that I have around, or the universal availabilities. I'm not finding the right word. Okay. So that is the service to others path. But if I take the path of service to self, I will use all the resources that are available in the universe at my own egoistic self service. Okay. So the soul is going through its own service at the cost of resources of the universe, or the cost of resources of others. Okay. That is the service to self path. Now, being souls, we have gone through so many lives, so many experiences, and so many different karmas called as experiences. I don't call it as karma, because you may just get the trigger in your head that it is bad. No, karma is not bad. Karma is the experience that you are going through, which could be good or bad as per your soul's choice. Now, we have gone through on our own interest. It's not on anyone. Okay, nobody is sitting and writing things that you have to do so and so, so and so, so and so. No, we as our soul, as per its own evolution, as per its own consciousness and growth, it is picking up its own choices of experiences. It's not that every soul will lie down at this baby soul. No, it will graduate slowly to infant, to baby, baby to young, young to adolescent, adolescent to the next old soul, and then so and transcendental soul, and so on. So it is not like every soul will lie there. It will also grow, but it is growing in its own path. So what I'm telling is, try to understand the people around you, that not everybody is at your own level. They are at different levels, at their own different evolution stages. Let us not judge them. Hmm? Let us always take the path of service to others rather than service to self. Selfish or being selfish or being judgmental is a service to self, because you want to feel better when you do service to self. You feel better and you do the service to self, but we don't realize that we feel much better when we do the service to others, because in giving is a lot of energy that we receive in return, which we are not aware of. So this service to others is the path that we all have to take. And now in the process of holistic healing hypnotherapy, I'm bringing it in between the process of holistic healing hypnotherapy, we are exploring this third density in detail. We are exploring the third density in detail, going back into all the different experiences that you or me have gone through as part of our soul evolution, and correcting the things that are meant to be corrected, and reliving the moments that are supposed to be relived to release the trauma. And our soul might have got fragmented during the course of time in the third density itself, going through multiple experiences. We are gathering and becoming whole and becoming ready to graduate into the fourth density. Now the earth is graduating, we are also graduating, but if we are confining ourselves to all those lowest vibrational frequencies, still we won't be able to graduate. This process would help you to graduate easily, effortlessly. And do you all have to go through this process? Not necessary. Meditation, regular spiritual practices, becoming more aware, integrating with the universal characteristics, that would help you to ascend faster. Okay, so this is all I wanted to tell you about how this process helps. And only this process helps? No, not really. Everything helps. All the experiences, if you are experiencing the experiences with much more awareness and consciousness, then your density increases, and I mean you can graduate to the next density, and you will be called as fourth density being soon, which is associated to love. Okay, so these densities are associated to all the seven chakras in the human body. So we need to understand from which density we are operating from. Are we operating from the second density, which is the sex? Are you identifying yourself with sexual desires or desires? Or are you identifying yourself with the control on others? Are you actually understanding what is going on with your own self? Do some introspection and understand what is going on with your own self. Try to peek into your own reality and then see what has to be changed. Don't think twice to bring that forward. There is a lot of shadow work is also going on earth, because this shadow work, mirror work, and lot of things, meditations, group meditations, and so many different things are helping. Mediumships, mm, Akashic records, and this is all, I think, tarot readings, so many things, hypnosis, past life regressions, and then so many things are going on earth, which are helping the human beings to evolve, to assess themselves, introspect into their own realities and assess themselves, take help without any judgments or without any feeling mm, what inferior and like that, and then take help and grow. That is all about the spiritual practices in and around you. Some may go through the spiritual awakening process. Why is it? Because they are holding back onto their own qualities, not letting them go. If they let them go, they can go to the next level easily, but they're struggling with their own qualities, with their own emotions, which is why it is very important to introspect. Okay, so try to understand yourself. See you again in the next video with the next 3 or 4 densities. See you. Bye bye.